Welcome to part 2 of our lesson on the clave. In this lesson we're going to take the clave and we're going to move it on the drum set in a very simple way. What I want to do first is I want to break down this groove on the drum set in a very simple way. And again, this is the way I would teach a beginner student who's first learning this type of Latin groove. So if we take a look at the music, you'll notice that we have the clave voiced on the cross stick. And as I mentioned before, that kind of simulates the sound of the clave instrument. So we're going to play that clave. In this case, we're going to do it in 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And we're going to use the sun clave. So we're going to do the more authentic, traditional version of it. And that's what your left hand is going to play. Your feet are going to play the tumbao pattern. And of course, your ride cymbal is just going to play a straight half note type pattern. So let's break these things down together and just see what that sounds like. First, let's go ahead and break down our hand part. Now I'm keeping it very simple on the ride cymbal, so I just want you to play the half note pattern, bing, ding, and keep that nice and straight. And you got to figure out where things line up. Now, unlike the sango groove, this doesn't work in a linear fashion, so things are going to line up. They're going to be in the same spot. So you have to resolve where your hands come together and where they're separate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's going to be our first measure, just with our hands. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the 3 side. Okay, so breaking that down, if you notice on the 2 side we have 1, 2, 3. So you're doing right, left, together. Now taking a look at the 3 side, we're going to do it like this. Together, left, right, left. Together, left, right, left. And you got to find that syncopated rhythm. Together, left, right, left. 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Then voice it. Together, left, right, left. 3, 4. Together, left, right, left. Now let's go ahead and put those 2 sections together, starting on the 2 side of the clave. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. The next step is going to be to add the bass drum. Now taking a look at our feet, you'll notice we have that tumbao pattern. Now this is the pattern that usually the bass player is going to play. The first note of your tumbao, the end of 2, is your strong beat. That's going to be your downbeat in Afro-Cuban music. You want to make sure you feel 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, as the really fundamental part of that bass drum pattern. Of course, we're going to add the 4 as kind of a support to that. So now we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. A bass player is going to follow that and give you that real nice tumbao sound. So let's go ahead first and break down the right hand and the right foot. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's go ahead and do our right foot against the clave. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I would do is work just that out to make sure you understand how those 2 things work together. You're going to have to sit there and make that feel comfortable. The next step, of course, is adding your ride cymbal part, which you really kind of want to tune out because you're just at this point doing a half note vibe and just holding this time with your right hand. So if you just hold that and really concentrate on how the left hand and right foot are locking in, it's going to make this groove really feel a lot smoother. So let's go ahead and add everything and see what we got. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Now taking a look at the 3-2 clave, basically you have the same coordination, but you start on that second measure instead of the first measure. So let's talk about what that sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. Now I'm not going to break that down because honestly it's the same breakdown as the 2-3 side. You just have to do it in reverse. Next I want to take a look at the Rumba clave. Now the only difference between the Sung clave and the Rumba clave is on the 3 side. We're going to take beat 4 and move it over 1/8 note to the end of 4. Let's take a look at what the hands are doing in this example. 1, 2, 3, 4. So looking at this side of the clave, the 2 side is exactly the same as in the Sung clave. Basically the whole coordination stays the same. So we don't have to really go crazy with figuring that out. The difference now is on the 3 side. So now you're going to have together, left, right, left, right. Together, left, right, left, right. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. All in all, it's pretty easy. But if we had our feet, it's going to be a little tricky because the bass drum's not going to line up the same way it did before on the 3 side of the clave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click, together, bass click. Click, together, bass click. Click, together, bass click. Again, the end of 2 is a strong beat. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. That's where you come together. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. One more time, and. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. The last step is going to be put all 3 of these parts together over the groove. So you might notice that the Rumba clave adds a little bit more of a linear feeling to the groove. And it's going to make it feel a little bit busier because of that. So that's why the Rumba clave is a little bit more modern, and it's something that's, I feel like, used more often in the afro-cuban style. But both grooves are great, and you should really study all 4 variations of this groove to really get it happening. So that's going to conclude part 2 of our clave lesson. In the next part of the series, we're going to take the clave and explore some of the variations that we can move around the drum set. Thanks for checking out this lesson, and we'll see you on part 3.